morning, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a great day and had a great weekend. Welcome to this FTX perpetual scam brought to you by FTX and TRADERCOBB. My name is Craig Cobb, and I'm going to take you through and have a bit of a deep dive into these markets today and see just what we might have in store for us this week. Of course, if you have not already, there is a link in the description below whereby you can get access to our Become a Trader course for free. It is a free course there to learn about what we do and how we do it and how I read these charts the way that I do, so you can be a little bit more clear when you watch these scans. As well as a 10% discount link off your, 10% discounts on your trading fees with FTX, and you'll find that also in the description below. So let's start this week by having a bit of a look. And good day to all of you out there. If you've got any questions, please do bring them forward and ask them, and I will do my best to answer them for you. All right, so it's, look, the reason I roll my eyes and go, is because of this. It's been many, many days now that the Bitcoin really has not provided us with anything. And the interesting thing is that the rest of the market has started to move in many cases. There are some decent trends out there, nothing that's really great. And it has been slow. And the reason I think it's been slow is because of two markets, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I'll explain why right now. For a start, Bitcoin, stuck in this range. Yes, it's gone below. Yes, it's gone above. We've gone above and we've failed, and then we've gone to the low. We've gone up to the low. We've gone back to the top and failed again. And now we just seem to be just ranging in this little sideways trend. When we come up and have a look at the daily here, you'll note, yep, there's our higher low, there's our higher high, and there's our pullback potential for a higher low, but we don't know that yet unless we break the high of this candle right here. Now, given that the trend is there, but it is very weak, I'm a little bit cautious. I have been a little bit cautious with my trading. I took one trade last week because that's all that I could find. Mind you, I was, it was a very sideways market, and I've been a little bit cautious of late because there's just not been that confidence in either direction. And you can see that here we shoot up for a couple of days, and then last week we went higher, sold off, higher, sold off, higher, sold off. This day not so much, higher, sold off, higher, sold off, higher, sold off. So each time buying came into the market, we were met by not equal sellers, but more sellers than what we had the day before. Of course, until the Friday where we did pop up. The Saturday we went back down. Yesterday we got a green candle, and what I'm really hopeful to see now is that we take out the high of this candle on the 5th of August, so we can start to get the momentum shifting back to the upside. When I look at the weekly chart here, what you will note is that there is a candle there. I wouldn't call that all that bearish. Yes, it's red, but it's actually rejected its lows. It's kind of a nothing candle in my view. It's not told me a great deal, but what it does tell me is this. Have a look at the range of Bitcoin. If I go from the high to the low, the whole weekly range was 5.3%. Now compare that to the week before, which was 16% or thereabouts, and the week before that, which was something around the same sort of figure, 14, 15%. Very, very small week indeed. Very little volatility. And a very, 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 very slow Bitcoin right now. As far as the positive, I'll go back to that weekly chart just for one moment. As far as the weekly goes, we've got to consider a couple of things. First and foremost, yes, we've bounced off this 2017 all-time high at the time. Yes, we've gone below it as well. Don't get me wrong, we have gone below it. We've moved back above that range, but we are back in that cradle zone. Now, there's plenty of room for us to get back to 28,000, but first we need to start moving, not just going sideways. So we are waiting to see if we can get first and foremost out of that range. If I show it to you on the 12-hour, what you will note is this. Some of you might look at this and say it is a head and shoulders pattern. Fine, call it what you will. It's a trend reversal that hasn't occurred yet. What we've got is we've got a higher low here, and if we can push up just through this resistance point and this point here, we will actually have the 12-hour back into an uptrend, and that is a good thing. We haven't got it yet. We pull out of here, we start to get a trend on the 12-hour. Of course, clearing that level through here would be a very significant point for me, and hopefully we can see that continue on. Right now, if I go lower on Bitcoin looking for any trading opportunities, what you're going to see is what we've been dealing with. Complete and utter waste of time. Very messy. I'm not a scalper. I'm not someone who sells upper resistance levels, buys, lower support levels. I just don't trade that way. I'm a trend trader. It's made it easier for me. It's made me successful. So I stick to what I know. And as you can see here, higher, low, high, higher, low, high, low. Look at the vast movement, but not going anywhere really. And that's what's kind of the issue with the market at the moment. It's not really going anywhere. So that's Bitcoin. Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is also facing somewhat of a crisis, or maybe not a crisis, but where's my line? There's usually a line in here. Where has that gone? There it is. So if you note this line through here, support, support, support. This was the point we bounced off numerous times. We found supporter, and then when we broke, we saw this big capitulation, this big sell-off down at that 850 region. Sorry, a bit higher than that, but you get my gist. Then we've climbed back through. What I really hope to see is that Ethereum can let go of this level and catapult itself higher. Have a look at it on the weekly chart. It is a very significant level. Don't forget, it's been a very significant decline for Ethereum to break that level. Now we've got that level as resistance, which is also in the cradle zone. So I'm again a little bit cautious while we're in that region, because until we get out of it, well, there is still the threat of the higher time frame weekly pushing us lower, and that is definitely a genuine concern of mine. So a push above here would also give us the 12-hour back into an uptrend. We've got to get above this high here, which is 1751. Then we can get our trend back in order. We do have a higher low and higher high, but we've got to clear those levels before I see anything of significance to the upside. If we don't see that, then we could see significant downside. Again, it's in that realm right now that because we're so on the line, I can't make a call as to what direction is likely to do, just simply because it's not showing me enough information. And while some of you might be sitting back going, oh, well, you told me it can go up and go down, good one, Cobb. The fact of the matter is that if you're always turning to people for absolute answers, then you might get them, but they're going to be full of BS because they don't know. I just don't know. I've been trading markets for 17 years, and there are times where you just don't have the information to make a decision either way, so I'm waiting. So whilst we're at it, let's go ahead now and have a look at the FTX perp list, which by now is 175 large. Plenty of contracts for us to trade and perpetual contracts with FTX, and I love it because I like using margin. All right, so let's start with 1 inch. What we're looking for here is trend first and foremost. We are talking about the cradle strategy here, and that is all, because that's what we teach in the free stuff that we have done with FTX, and we will soon be repeating that course as well, so make sure you stay tuned. Okay, so Cardano. Higher, low, higher, high. We're just going to jump around these time frames, see if we've got any cyclicity. We've got a 1 hour playing out here on a clean pullback. Problem I got is a 2 hour. Look, we go low to high. There is really no cyclicity in there. There's nothing of any real considerable note. No trend that's worthwhile. I'm moving on. Sideways on Adventure Gold. Again, that is fairly sideways. I'm looking for good follow through, good trend. Momentum is what I'm after. And as you'll see, look, you will note in the daily, there is a very large number of daily charts that are just stuck, and they have been for roughly about a week. Altcoin index, again, just showing you how the alt market has been outperforming Bitcoin of late. You notice that there is a higher low and now a higher high here. We need to see that carry through, because again, we've only just tapped through this high, and we need to carry more to get that trend opened up for us to trade those pullbacks. Ample fourth is a mess. Anchor is sideways. Ape. Whilst the trend is there on the daily, it ain't all that good looking. Would have been nicer to see it push further and pull back. This is what I'm saying. We get these little days where we move higher, but we don't move higher by much. And I just need to see the market extend itself a little bit stronger. Ugly, 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 sideways, sideways, cosmos, sauce. Well, we're definitely at a resistance region. Quite a deep pullback. Yes, it's an uptrend on the 4. Not interested there because of the higher low high, then back to low, so that rules any lower time frames out. The 8 hour does have a trend, but again, it's just not got that bouncing ball cyclicity that I'm after, and there's not been that much out there of late. But that's okay. That's okay. What I want to see Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the others do, so let's have a look at Bitcoin just again here. Higher low, higher high, just deep pullback and stuck here. What was I on then? It was AVAX. This is what I want to see. Bitcoin currently here. I want to see it do this. push on, steepening its trend curve. Higher low, higher high. It looks nice on AVAX. It does not look like that at the moment on Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of our major market movers. So is AVAX leading the market, or is AVAX just a black sheep that's doing its own thing? It will remain to be seen, but I do like the way it's bounced out really, really nicely. I guess my central concern for AVAX now is this little wee pullback here. Let's have a look on the 2. We broke out through here really nicely, retested and run. I'm going to take that level out now. It's a little bit old. Yeah, we got a higher low here. It does have convergence. It does have trend. The 2 hour is the same. If it did pull back into 27 or something like that, then yes, I'd be keen to keep an eye on that. That is going to go straight to my blue list, which is me FTX list. Daily trend being important there too. It's a strong one. And I know that a lot of people have sort of vacated the market. We see that our engagement numbers drop. The community goes a little bit more quiet. And I understand when there's no trends in the market, it's not really all that exciting. People do leave. But the fact of the matter is whether it goes up or down, we can make money. Are we making money now? Look, in the last 2 weeks, there's been the opportunity for it. Yes, EOS and Matic both have locked in profits, good ones. Quant was a loss last week for me, but still those 2 trades from the week before yielded profits. There just have not been very many opportunities out there, so it is easy for people just to tune out. Now, when it comes to basic attention token, we've got resistance coming up, and we've got resistance right here. We need to step our way out of that consolidation. Look at this. Just gives you a good snapshot of how little we've had. Look at this. That is a consolidation. Consolidations, unless there are intraday trends, don't yield results. Pullback here on Bitcoin Cash, nice move there, but it has not continued. Again, 3 very small days. Not much volatility going on right there. Binance, probably one of the better or best daily trends out there. Look at this beautiful cyclicity, beautiful bouncing, pulling back, moving. That's what I like. If the daily did pull back in, depending on how it did it, under what circumstances, and we got a bullish candle, I'd be pretty keen on that. But for the time being, we've got to focus on the lower time frames. And unfortunately, it's, again, it's not doing real good for us down on those lowers. It's more the higher time frames where the opportunity has been. You look at the 1 hour, there's not much there. The 30, not much there. We move up, then we go consolidation, then we get a big candle, and there's not much really doing there, sadly, on Binance. Again, just focusing on trend, and when I see a market like that, I am walking away. It is not sufficient for me to be trading in non-optimal conditions. Again, non-optimal there on Pancake Swap, no interest from me. Celsius. Don't know what's going on there, but it's having a decent drive higher. Obviously, very, very volatile, and also with the prospect of it disappearing. It's a scary one, but it's significantly up. 18x if you were able to catch that low. And don't worry, I'm not showing you that to try and help create FOMO or anything like that. It's starting to trend nicely. For the time being, I can't ignore that trend. It's probably going to be the 4 hour coming back in, and since that I'm going to pop that in because it's midday and I wanted to keep a list of my trends, so I'll put that in the list. And when I zip past these guys, it's just simply because if there's no clear trend, I'm leaving. Another victim of the consolidation, just popping through on Compass. Keep moving, please. We've got that trend there. Let's get some strength to the upside, then we can work with you. Cream has a trend, but look at how spiky it's been of late. You can see the pullbacks. It's just, check it out up here when we go to the 2 hour. Look at these big spikers. If it had a cleaner pullback coming in, I might have been interested. But this sort of big spike here, no interest. At one stage, that 2 hour candle was up 5.5%, and then it's just sold straight back off. So have a look at it here. Very thinly traded. It's not one for me. I move on. There are the reasons as to why I move on. And the hunt for the trend continues. All right, okay. That is a significant level. Cannot ignore that. The 1's not going to cut it. The 2's not going to cut it. Why is the 2 not going to cut it? It's just not the cleanest of pullbacks or momentum. The resistance ahead is not really the issue. The trend's just not very good. And don't forget, if you're fairly new to the way that we operate in markets, or the way I do and my team, it's all about trend, guys. And one of the things that's really important, nothing out of there either. I'll quickly check the lowers. No, just a straight line. One of the things to understand is that to be a long-term, medium, long, short-term, whatever, to have successful outcomes as a trader, what we need to be doing is focusing on taking good trades when good trades are presenting themselves, which also means that there will be periods of time where there's not a great deal going on. And it's going to take some real control to not just trade willy-nilly when there's nothing there. Elrond doesn't work because this high to this high. Look at the MACD. We are divergent, so that gets left behind. I leave that later. Here is the position I was talking about before, ladies and gentlemen, based on the cradle back here on, 26th of July. Really nice move, obviously. Stop's now been moved from there to there to there, locking in profit. That was a good trade. It's still in my red list because I'm still in that position or monitoring that position as well. As far as anything to go now, nothing there. Ethereum, I spoke of exchange perp trying its best to trend, not having the best of luck with it. Flow 11%, but again, what we have with something like flow is these sorts of days. We just have these massive candles, then nothing, then another big candle, and then nothing. Phantom, just please, from here, little pullback, please just go, foop, give us some upside, give us a really good push to get these trends moving. I mean, you can see it there on the 12. Oh, excuse me. Out of nowhere. Sorry about that. I can't mute, I can't pause, I can't do anything. Oh, jeez. Oh, not more. Oh. Sorry. My apologies. Okay, so we've had this pullback here. We've moved on. Pull back in, and what I'm hoping to see here now is another... Oh, God. Oh, I get this from my dad. We have this pullback here, and now I want to see it ricochet, head higher, because then we've got something to work with, a proper trend with some elevation, and that's what we're lacking at the moment. We are lacking that extension, that elevation, that drive higher. It's just not been there. Or I say higher because we just don't have many downtrends right now. So for me, it's just sort of, I won't say that I'm frustrated, because what becomes frustrating for me is when I do this sort of content for you guys or my clients, and I keep coming back and saying there's nothing there. Now, it doesn't frustrate me to not take trades. It just makes the whole commentary and the whole helping people and working with them, as much as helping people, it's not just about taking trades, it's about helping them become a better trader, and not trading is often the right decision to make. It's just, you get a bit bored of saying the same thing, i.e. there's nothing really available. I'm looking at this on Steppen, and there's a level starting to form, but that's about it. Again, there's no real strong trend. Yes, if it was to break up through here, this would signify a higher low and then a higher high to come of it, but there's nothing there yet. The G's, I don't know why, but the G's throughout this perp list have been pretty average for quite a while now. Oh, sorry. I don't have any tissues to blow my nose. My apologies. I am sorry. Holo, again, there is a trend there. We've pulled back in after a strong run, and now we're doing nothing. And this is what's been on repeat for the market of late. We get a run, we pull back, and then we go sideways. What we want is, I don't need to see it move this hard. I need to see it move, pull back, move, and the next pullback, I can look for my trades. We just haven't really had any follow through for such a long time. Something's got to give. And that's the problem, is that the longer that we don't really move, the probability of us moving lower, well, it starts to tick up a little bit. Carver here, my problem is not how clean this pullback was. My problem is how messy it's been through here. To define the high or low has been tricky, and that's why it was left this morning when I did see that that on the 8 hour. Just note as we go through this, and this is why me doing live trading floor on my scans every day, it's this that's been making it difficult, as in the amount of trades we've had available. A market that's not moving, if you're a trend follower, well, there's really not much you can do. It's as simple as that. Little pullback here on Link that occurred overnight. Have a look here. Pullback in, really nice move. Not suggesting that was tradable. I don't think the trend was very good there at all. The 8 hour actually looked half decent, but the 16 probably didn't back it up. And right now, again, look, we just run in a straight line with no bouncing ball type cyclicity back into the moving averages. And then we get all barcode-like, you know, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's not ideal. Okay, loop ring. Bit of a shame this big douchebag candle set up, because I mean we pushed down and we pushed back up, and it's just kind of made it a bit ugly. Not much through here. Matic, again, this was from 2 weeks ago. This position here, there was an opportunity. Stop now to there. Profits locked in. Yes, sure, there are profits still to be made. Yes, yes. There's just been not as many. The key has been in taking the right positions at the right time and leaving the ones that aren't really setting up properly. That's been the key fundamental that I've been following this year, to be honest. It's been a pretty lackluster year. Can you believe it? We are in the 8th month already. Again, we're lacking in... Oh, look at that. I mean, look at these spikes. At one stage during that 12-hour cycle, we're at 34%. Ended up closing up 3%. So you can see here what we're dealing with. We seem to be having low liquidity and low conviction. And those two things are a bit of a concern to me. They really are. Nothing much going on there. The good thing for NIA is that, yes, it has pushed above. Now, if it can extend, we'll be looking half decent. I was actually hopeful to get it pulled back into this level, but we've now since moved higher, so we have to wait. A lot of not very nice looking charts in here. When it comes to people, get me away from them. No, I'm just joking. When it comes to people, a pullback into here, you know, back into this region on the daily could certainly be very, very good. In fact, we do have a 2-day uptrend there as well. The problem is that for today, we're not in here. We are in here. It needs to pull back further on people. It's really, for me, when we look at perp, it's got to be said, it's the daily only. The higher low here is nice. The drive higher is nice. A pullback in. As a matter of fact, the pullback in to somewhere in here, probably going to be 61.8. Bit deeper. All right. A pullback into this region will be good on the daily. I'm going to put that reference point in there for now, as that's all I can really do. Now, for those of you who are looking up here who have done my course, you might be saying, well, hang on a sec, Craig. What about this support level that's starting to run through here? Yeah, what about it? It's there. I can agree with you that there is support right there. However, what's our trend doing? Well, in fact, the 4-hour wouldn't be so bad because we do have this little lower high which could set that into a 4-hour downtrend. The problem really is, and it's not that much of a problem, is the fact that the daily is in an uptrend. But I'm going to put that into my red list for those that are in my community. That might actually give us something to work with later if the market is to dip down. Priv perp, a pullback into the cradle zone here could be worthwhile. Again, I think it's just going to be the daily, and this is again one of the frustrating things at the moment is that the daily really is the time frame. 61.8 and 50. Right, you went back to the other one. Sweet as a nut. Let me go back to that. So you've gone there to there, and you've gone there to there. Yeah, right, bang on, and it's on $1. Sweet. So something, still, we need to see that pullback come in. We haven't got that just yet. This was a trade I lost on last week. Yeah, that one there. Beautiful pullback, triggered me in, took me out, did nothing much since. That happens, ladies and gentlemen. You don't win them all. That is for darn sure. Not much happening there on Ray, Reef, Ren. All very sideways. Again, look at how sideways this market is. Now, don't forget, I trade my rules. For me, if they are not met, there's not much I can do. A pullback in slowly over the next day or so would be nice to get us back into here, but it's got a long way to go there on Rose. Sideways, sideways. Starting to move, but not enough momentum. Seco, ugly. Sideways, Shiba, shitcoin, sideways. The one thing we do have with shitperp here is that we have had this little pullback. We're still stuck at resistance like Ethereum is, like many other projects are. If we can just let go, poof, then there's no reason why we can't see a decent move that will run for a few days. But again, it's not my job to predict if we're going to go up or down. My job is to take advantage of my strategies when we do have trends. We don't have trends. And that's what's making it a little bit boring. Perfect time to be learning though, because you're not missing anything in the market, I'll tell you that much. To be learning now is to be building your future self and your future opportunities. Please, guys, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and hit that like thing. I think that helps it. Well, I know that helps us. So please, if you don't mind, it's a way that you can help us. Again, Alien Worlds, we go just slightly higher low, but look at it. That is not a chart that screams at me, it's time to make money. And don't forget my number one rule, my number one job with what I do for you guys here, my driving force is to help people become the best trader they can be. If I was to just say, oh yeah, here's something here, here's the best of the bad bunch, I would be doing you a disservice and I wouldn't be staying true to myself. If there's nothing that's there that's of, good conditions, if there's nothing worthy, don't waste your time because it will turn. We will get opportunities. When I say turn, it doesn't, whether it's up or down, I'd rather it go up. It's by the by. The opportunities that I'm talking about are trends. They will come back. Sadly, Monero, I was keen to see if we got a little bullish candle in here, but now the higher low, as you can see, look, we race all the way up, we pull all the way back, and this is the curse of our market at the moment is, yep, we'll get this, quick 10% or 8% move, and then boof, we sell it straight back, not allowing those trends to actually set themselves. We go up, 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 for a little bit and down, down, down for a little bit. And we end up back to where we started. Completely useless for a trend trader. Lower high, lower low, straight back to high, pull back. There's nothing I can do with something like that. ZRX, it's just, there you have it. Let's see what we got. It's not much. Okay, so we do have a couple of options, and this is what I'm talking about when you've got to be Johnny on the spot. You've got to be monitoring your trends. We do have a trend here on avalanche. A nice slow drive back into, say, 27 would be ideal. Small bullish candle, tick your boxes for the cradle. It may present later on. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm willing to give it a little bit of time to see if I can get a little bit of lemon out of it. All right. And finally, Celsius. There's only two on the list, Celsius and AVAX. Celsius will take probably a little bit more time to get back into this zone. Right now, though, guys, I mean, I'll come back to it again. The way I started this scan was to say to you guys, there were too many things happening. There are two charts that need to do things, as far as I'm concerned, to really give the wider market a bit of a comfort that we could continue with direction. What we've got here is Bitcoin stuck in this range. What we want to see here is Bitcoin push up through this high. So we've got a higher low, a higher high, clear reversal, trend now, 12-hour uptrend, and hopefully it can extend. If it can extend, we'll start to see trends come in. And right now the problem we've got is that there's nothing really on the fours or any of these time frames, because we have been stuck in a sideways range for so long. We can't look at the lower time frames at this stage because we just don't have anything to work with for 99.9% of what's out there in our market. Until we get these indications of where we're going to be headed direction-wise, it is so important to just hold back, keep your money, keep your capital. And I know the exchange the exchanges won't like me saying this, but the fact of the matter is my job is to serve you and to do the right thing. The right thing right now is not to be actively pursuing aggressive moves. That's my standpoint. It's my opinion, it's my view, it is not financial advice. You make your own call. But if you follow the way that I teach, the way that I trade, you'll see there are very few trends out there. We need Bitcoin to get out of this range. We need Ethereum to get out of its range, because Ethereum equally is at a very compromising position right now, being headbutting 1790. If we can clear that level, we've got upside potential with really a lot of blue sky ahead of us if we can clear that level. Is the appetite of the market going to come back, or are we going to see this as being the catalyst for a point for a lower high? We break down through there, lower low, and we go back to downtrends. The problem is that I can talk about the scenarios that I would like to see unfold, and if X, Y, or Z were to occur, this is my plan. But until those plans start to roll out and come to life, we are just at the mercy of the market and what it does next. And that's part of life as being a trader. The thing you've got to make sure that you maintain throughout these periods is you don't let this thing get ahead of you. Don't let the thinking thought or the frustration or whatever emotions that you might be feeling at the moment, don't let them influence what you should be doing. That's why we have the 3 strategies with checklists. It's an unemotional process. Unemotional. You stick to the rules and you wait for the opportunity. When the opportunity comes, you take that opportunity. Fountain of Life Antidote. Thank you, Isaac. I will have a look into that. So guys, thank you so much for your time. A very small watch list, of course, but a bit of perspective on the market and some of the things that could unfold. And if they do unfold, we're going to get a lot more opportunity. But again, we are simply slaves to the market. Well, not to be slaves, but we are waiting to see what the market decides its move will be. Don't forget, you can join me on my Become a Trader course, absolutely free, link below, and 10% off your FTX trading fees is also in the link below. Have yourself a great day, and if you would like to help us, please do share the content that we produce, because it would be very beneficial. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye for now.